if you ask me today, tell me very in simple language, what is the G20 about? What will happen when G20 takes place? I would say two things will happen. G20 is getting India world ready, ready for the world. G20 is about getting the world ready for India. This is really what it is about. Now, you can ask me, why should the world be ready? Why should India be ready for the world? You know, we have existed for thousands of years. So has the world. We have to be ready for the world because there are a lot of possibilities there which will make a huge difference for our future. If we understand it, if we in a way utilize it, if we partner with it. And let me give you, to my mind, and I've really spent a lot of time thinking about it, 5 big reasons. 5 reasons why India should actually prepare to be more active in the world. The first is a very obvious one. The more we partner with the world, the faster we can actually accelerate our development. Now, normally you've heard this from many people, our FDI has increased so much. This is only one small element of what a partnership with the world is about. Because a partnership with the world is about capital, it is about technology, you get best practices, you get markets for our products, our services, our exports, and we need resources. Because remember, today, we are the 5th largest economy in the world, and we need actually more, we are also importing more and more resources. Now, in a way, it is very obvious to say this in Hyderabad, because you look at what has happened in your own immediate, in the city and in the region, that how much more global you have become, how you have used technology, how actually from your own state, your own region, your own city, how much more you are dealing with the rest of the world and how much it has helped you. So how do we speed up national development? The more we deal with the world, obviously on the right terms, with a lot of thought, the better it is for us. The second is we have to think of the world today as a global workplace. That Indian talent, Indian skill, Indian capabilities, these do not have to stay anymore within India. They actually can go out in big numbers. There is a huge demand in the world. If you look today, there are developed countries where there is a demand, but there's no demographics. The young people are not there. The talent is not there. The skills are not there, not in those numbers. So when we actually interact with the world, especially in the last few years, we have seen this demand today for Indian talent and Indian skill. But if we have to get the full benefit of it, we will get it only when in India we prepare for it, that we ensure there is skills, that there is education, that there is talent, there is innovation, and there is protection and fairness to the people who go outside. But today the one big part of what is happening between us and the world is the world as a workplace. We should prepare for that, and you can prepare for it, for the professionals, for the tech people, really by reaching agreements. And we have done. If you look, since Prime Minister Modi has come, we've done agreements with Germany, with Austria, with France, with Portugal, with UK, with Denmark. So there are a number of countries, with Japan. And we have opened these societies as workplaces for our skills and talent. But there are also other economies where actually blue-collar workers go in very large numbers. If you look at the Gulf, There are almost 80 lakh Indians who live in the Gulf, and many of them are actually blue-collar workers. Now, they need not just fairness, they also need protection. They need, if they get into problems, they do not have the resources to deal with it. And again, one of the things which the Modi government has done is, we have created the ability so that when our workers have any problems abroad, they don't get health facilities. There is sometimes somebody by some accident, passes away abroad. How do we look after them? Now, this kind of approach, preparing for the global workplace, this we demonstrated during the COVID through the Vande Bharat mission. Through the Vande Bharat mission, when we went abroad and we actually got 7 crore people back to India. And in the history of the world, there is no country which has done that kind of evacuation exercise. Now, again, when I say that we have to prepare for the global workplace, I am talking at exactly the right place. Because the number of people from Telangana that I meet abroad, when I look at the preparations you yourselves are making, you have a university today which teaches foreign languages in great demand, because that is part of the skill sets which young Indians need today. So, to me, first, we need to deal more with the world because it will help us accelerate our national development. 2, we need to prepare for the global workplace. And 3, there are big issues in the world that we need to address, and I spoke about some of them. Climate, terrorism, maritime security, trade, standards. So if we are not active, if we are a non-player, we will not be able to shape this world. And today we are the 5th largest economy. We will be 3rd in the coming years. So how do we actually shape the big debates of the world? Then there is a 4th factor. The 4th factor is the competition among countries. The competition among countries, like there's competition among political parties, there's competition even among individuals. Human beings are competitive. Now, international politics is about how to be competitive. Now, as I said, today's India cannot sit on the sidelines. We have too much at stake. If we do not participate, decisions will be made without us, without taking our interests into account. And this is something that we will not allow, we should not allow. And in fact, today's India under Narendra Modi is trying to influence that more and more. And then there is a 5th reason. In a way, you can say it is a non-material reason. Because, till now I'm talking resources, trade, we must influence outcomes. There are big issues, we must find work. We are one of the world's oldest civilizations. And we are one of the few civilizations who have survived all these years in history and are today, even today, a powerful nation state. There are very, very few other civilizations like this. Now, why am I saying that to you? I'm saying that to you because in this changing world, with the growing capability that we have, with the greater influence that we have, with the profile, especially the standing of the Prime Minister, we have to make our culture, our traditions, our practices. We have also got to make it part of the collective, global, you can say, way of living. And I'll give you a very practical example of it. In 2014, when Narendra Modi became Prime Minister, and he came to New York, September 2014. I was then ambassador in New York, in Washington. He first asked some of us, saying, we practice yoga around the world, people do it. Why don't we make this actually a global happening? And I'll give you the truthful answer. Very frankly, none of us had even thought of it. And once he put that idea in our mind, and once he puts an idea, he doesn't let go. So this ended up next year as an International Day of Yoga that we were able to get passed. And that was 2015. In the 7.5 years that have passed, look how much has changed. There is not a country in the world where it's not only just that you're practicing yoga, where, important, prestigious, influential, youthful people come and say, I also do it, I'm proud to do it, I want to be part of what is happening in the world. And in fact, last year, we had the coverage of the International Day of Yoga began with the easternmost country on the dateline and went through the entire world, and every country you could see step by step how they were celebrating it. Now, I give you that as one example. There are many other examples. There are examples, many of us use Ayurvedic medicines. There are many countries where you can't get it. But there are many countries where they don't allow it. So, if our culture, our civilization is to be given the respect that is due to it, we have to see that our practices, even, many of our cultural habits, there are some, there are societies where their own cultural or religious practices are accepted as a norm, but ours are not. Now, we have to ask ourselves, how long will we accept that? So, how do we shape the global, I would say, global culture as really one of the oldest civilizations? And for these reasons, we need today to really get India to be world ready.
Please subscribe to Nationalist Hub English channel for more interesting videos, and don't forget to like and share this video. Nationalist Hub, it's a news revolution.